Here's another YouTube video for our new product, the Ultimate Crankshaft Stabilizing Plate. This plate is an addition to our Ultimate CVT cover. So it's really going to stabilize the crankshaft with those big motors. It's going to prevent the seal from leaking on the variator side because of crank walk for high horsepower GY6 motors. It comes with this stuff. You're going to have the plate, the bearing, and it's a sealed bearing on both sides, the variator nut, your ring, and then your 3 bolts. This right here, actually there's 4 bolts. We do not press this in for one reason. We don't know if you're gonna powder coat this, polish it, anodize it, so we leave this unpressed. What you're going to need to do is put this in, and what we use is a 5/16 socket. It actually fits perfect in here. Press it in. You can probably even press it in with your hand. It's not very tight, but it is a press fit. And then you're going to use some tools with this. You're going to need a set of ring pliers to set the ring, snap ring in. So once this gets pressed in, it gets used as the ring pliers, and there's actually a groove in here where it sits inside. We actually have one done here. You're going to need a couple tools. The tools you're going to need is a 17mm socket to take off your old variator. You're going to need a 22mm socket to use with the new nut that has a large surface. And again, if you have a 5/16 socket to use as a press, you're also going to need a 5mm Allen for these 4 bolts and the corresponding socket. Alright, we're going to show you how to install this. First thing you're going to do is you should already have a Ultimate CVT cover. If you don't, you will need to purchase the Ultimate CVT cover because it's going to give you the added strength for a front plate and also a back plate and the bearing support. This will not work on a regular ankle biter CVT because it does not have these bolts here or here to attach these two. So you would need to purchase a Ultimate CVT cover. So we're going to show you what to do. You're going to take off the 17mm nut for the variator, and what you're going to do is you're going to insert the new nut, which is CNC'd and trued to right inside of the bearing. So remember to use Loctite. We're not using Loctite right now, but I highly recommend you use Loctite. You're going to go ahead and use the 22mm socket Okay, we had to change the battery in our impact, so we used a deep socket, 22mm, to put that on, and tightened it with the impact gun with Loctite. Remember, use a deep socket, 22mm. So right now we're going to take a 5mm Allen wrench, and we are using a ratchet. We're going to take these 2 off. You're going to reuse the washers that come with the kit. Actually, you're not, and we're going to show you why. I'm getting too far ahead of myself. So you loosen all these up. You are going to leave the spacers intact if you can, and you're going to remove the bolts. Now remember, we have 4 bolts. 3 65s are going to go here, and a 70mm long is going to go here. So the one that's longer is going to go here. You're going to take the bolts, put them inside the plate. So we'll show you how to do this and remove the older ones. Okay. And as you can see, that one dropped out. So you're going to go ahead and see if you can put this in, and it should fit into the bearing.
Now also remember, 3 of those 65s are going to go on the top left, top right, and then bottom right. That 170 millimeter is going to go in the bottom left hand corner.
So as you can see here, we're going to try to put this in. Just like that. And it should fit in. As you tighten it, you got to tighten it in a star pattern. So 2 things as you're tightening this, you can't hit this with your palm of your hand to actually make this flush, or you can tighten it in a star pattern. This is CNC'd perfect to fit in this bearing. So your crank may be slightly off, but this will actually fit inside of this plate. So all we had to do is just push it in with our palm and it fit in. You're going to tighten it up. Remember to use Loctite on these bolts. Now what this bearing is going to do is allow the variator nut to sit inside here, and it's going to prevent the walking of the crank when you're really giving it the horsepower, especially for high takeoff and hole shots. Alright, so we're all set. We have it all bolted up nice and flush. There should be no gap between this plate and this plate. Remember to put this bolt in first and kind of get it set, started. A lot of times people ask, well, it's not going inside the hole. Put this one in first, then this one, then this one, then this one, and then once you have them threaded, you can start tightening them up in a bolt and a star pattern, or you can hit this in to get this flush. So this is our cover. This one's actually loose. We'll tighten that one up. Again, this is our ultimate crank plate, and it prevents the crank walk commonly common on GY6 232s, 200s, 205s, and big motors with a lot of torque. Thanks for watching. Please keep on watching for more videos. Subscribe, like. Thanks again.